Namaste, welcome to SumanTV. Ahmed Salim, claimed to be a doctor, has cheated several ladies, especially he targeted Indian women. Says that he loves you from the bottom of his heart, says he will love you till his last breath. After a few weeks, he makes up a story suddenly saying that he is in desperate need of money and asks for help. He will promise to return the money, but when asked to return, he blocks you and vanishes in thin air without any trace. In fact, if asked for money, he even is not afraid to blackmail you or threat you. He has no trace or address, he has nowhere to be found, not sure where he is. And one particular lady who has been his victim of scamming and fraud is here with us now, and she wants to share her experience with us. Let's talk to her. Hello, Chandana. Namaste.
Namaste. Hello.
Chandana garu, it was very sad that you have cheated by a person called Ahmed Salim. First, we want to know how did you meet him and what the profile he used?
So here's during the COVID times, a person by Ahmad Salim actually sent me a friend request on Facebook Messenger and introduced himself that he's a neurosurgeon working in London, and he used the profile Dr. Gilbert Leonardo. And his profile was very impressive. He convinced me with his medical knowledge that he's a neurosurgeon and he's working in London, originally from Italy. And he is trying to contact a lot of doctors and physicians and healthcare professionals in different countries, trying to gather data about the COVID crisis, about the COVID treatment plans, and how the ventilations and patient in ICU were performing and what the medical options were. So that's how him being the doctor and I myself, I'm physician working in US. So we connected, and since his purpose seemed genuine, I accepted his friend request and we started communicating on Messenger, ma'am.
Okay. How did you communicate with him? With the messenger?
Messenger, we exchanged a couple of chats here and there over a period of 3 to 4 weeks, and then he requested me to give him my WhatsApp number so he could communicate more with me. And once he built the trust, and I trusted him being the doctor, and I saw him on FaceTime and I saw him on the video call, so I trusted him and I gave him my WhatsApp messenger number with a noble and honest, I thought he was honest, and I started communicating with him. And he used the country code of +44, which is a UK number.
But what did he say about himself and he's from which country?
He said that he's from Italy and he was born and brought up in London, and he worked in one of the London hospitals as a neurosurgeon. That's what he told me.
Chandana, you're from?
I'm originally from India and I've been in the US for close to 19 years. And I work as a physician assistant in the emergency room. And we used to deal with a lot of COVID cases and was a high risk environment with the frontliners in the industry. And I discuss a lot about the COVID, the times here, the restrictions, the options, the immunoglobulin, the therapy available for the COVID patients.
Chandana, what mobile number did Ahmed use to talk to you?
He used the number from +44, and the number do not really exactly remember the number, but the area code was +44, starting with 7 and the following numbers. Actually, I have it on my phone. I can read it off for you. And that's the
Okay.
number. He used it throughout this entire conversation. He never changed the SIM card or the device. And he stuck with his word that number I have is +447385305000. The last four numbers are 5000.
During your chat period, did he send any photos?
He routinely sent me his pictures. He sent me his work pictures where he was in his office, and all the time he was wearing a stethoscope and a white coat. And there were some pictures that he sent that looked like he was in an operation theater with a female. I later understood that the female was actually his mother, and he staged the entire setup.
How many days later did he ask the money?
After about a month or so, he told me that he went to Italy and his father was injured. He told me his father had a leg injury and it was fractured. So he went to Italy to see his father. And from there, he told me he had to go to Jakarta, Indonesia, on behalf of his father to close a automobile deal. said they were investing in car industry, and he went to Jakarta immediately. And when he was in Jakarta, he made a story that I later realized was a story to extract money. He said his bank account in London was frozen for some reason, and that he was stuck in Jakarta, unable to access his bank funds from London. And he already signed a deal for the car industry, and they needed help. And he was trying to get funds from all his friends. Told me that his wife had passed away in a car accident, and he had a 6-year-old daughter, and he had no friends. He was a quiet person who would keep to himself. And once he found, comfort chatting with me, he thought I'm a true friend, and he opened up to me and told me his life story, his depression, and now that he needed money, he looked up to me, asking me for help to send him some funds, promising that he would return to me as soon as possible.
Chandana, how much money Ahmed asked you?
In the beginning, it started off as $6,000, and
Okay.
I sent him through Western Union. And later he said, "Well, the money doesn't seem to be enough because I'm already stuck with the car deal here. I need more funds. I've been asking my other friends, and they've helped me a lot. I ran out of sources. I've drowned everybody, and you're my only resource. You're my only help." So he extracted to a tune of, I would say, $40,000
Oh my God.
over a period of 10 years, several months.
Totally
And
$40,000.
yes, ma'am, $40,000. And that, what I can remember, and some from Google Play cards saying he could need money to sustain himself, to buy food, to pay the hotel costs in Jakarta. That's what he told
Okay.
me.
Which bank account number told to you, Chandana?
He gave me a couple of accounts in India, and they're from Bangalore, and there's some of them are from Assam, some in Shillong. So he told me, being an Indian, it'd be easy for me to send funds to India, and nobody would question it. He was very smart, and he's very smart the way he deals the money transactions. He makes the money deposits on a third party account, and looks like he takes a portion and gives a portion commission to whoever receives the money. And I kept asking him for my money back, and later he threatened me. He said he has my pictures, he has the pictures of my family, and that he could come back and blackmail me if I would disclose this to anyone. So that's what
Oh
he
my
told me, and I
God.
was afraid, and I just hoped he would just return my money.
Chandana, are there any screenshots that you can provide from the chat history?
Yes, ma'am, I absolutely have each and every detail of the chat, and I'm just waiting for a police inquiry to begin. And I will definitely provide all screenshots. And there are some very specific screenshots which tell that he's this person who lives in Israel. He discussed me about the Israel-Palestine war, and he discussed about how the Palestinians are in Israel. He also told me how the Israelites are called invaders in Israel, and the Jewish settlers are called as invaders. So these are specific, like signature type text messages that depict that this person is Ahmad Muhammad Salim. And I came to understand that in the long run, when I kept on asking him money, he made up story after story, and I got tired of him. And I blocked him a couple of times, but I later unblocked him. But finally, once I asked him for my money back, I told him I really need the money back. He absolutely blocked me. He blocked
Oh
me
my
on
God.
Facebook, he blocked me on Messenger, he blocked me on WhatsApp with no clue whatsoever. So I kept looking for him on Facebook, and I found that this person is a fraud and he has multiple accounts. To my surprise, I found that he has over 300 accounts, 300 to 400 accounts, all starting with the name Doctor Doctor. It's a shame, him being a doctor, making fake profiles, using to con and scam people, using to fraud people, especially targets of women. It's a
Yes.
shame, him building up a story that his wife is dead and
Hmm.
making money requests from innocent women. And I've seen that he's looted a lot of women all over the world. He used to work very um, actively in Mauritius, and I've seen some ladies have posted about him in the Mauritius websites, Mauritius profiles, that he's a scammer. He's been scamming from 2015. I wish somebody had raised a voice about him and alerted all the Facebook community to not accept him. Today his capping would have stopped. So after losing so
Yes.
much money, I have taken that I will fight against him no matter what. I will seek justice for all the victims that he scammed. I've come to
Yes,
know that
Chandana.
this one lady from
Hmm.
Australia, she actually committed suicide. This
Oh my God.
person
Hmm.
is so evil that he promises love, he promises romance, he promises to marry the ladies, and they give in to the love and the connection that he shows. And one lady actually apparently sold her house, sold her jewelry, sold everything that she had in the hope of marrying him. And when he didn't show up, she committed suicide. That's what I came to
That is
know.
very sad. Chandana, how many people did you transfer money? Can you list their
I
names?
transferred money to about 5 or 6 people in India, ma'am.
All over the world.
Yes, all over the world, there's about 30 or 40 people who I personally spoke to. I'm taking the written statement, so I'm going to file this with Israel Embassy. We all are
Hmm.
united in this effort. We all are going to file with the Israel Embassy in different countries to seek an investigation about his property, his assets. Over a period of 3 to 4 years, he has amassed huge amounts of wealth where he had a poor rag like house, rinky dinky old cemented small house, he's built a big mansion. He travels around the world, takes about 3 or 4 international vacations. Where's the money coming from? I'm a physician. I work in the emergency room. I don't make that much money. How is this
Hmm.
person making so much money? Looks like he has people all over the world and they help him to carry out this money laundering. They keep a portion, probably 10 or 15%, I'm assuming, and the remainder goes to Ahmed Salem in Israel. So, sitting in Israel, he's running this whole scam business. I've lived in the US for 19 years. I've never been robbed, I've never been cheated. I drive in the middle of the night at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., get out of work, sometimes drive 4 hours to come to my hometown. I've never been robbed. I stopped at several gas stations, purchased gas, took a nap at gas station stops, but never been robbed. But this person sitting in Israel is such a con artist, such a scammer that he's robbed people all over the world. Looks like
Chandana, did
his
he
net.
threaten you in any way?
Yes, ma'am. He threatened me saying that he has my pictures and that he would definitely, I would definitely get into trouble. And apparently, a person who is in connection with him called me and told me all the details about him. And he told me that this guy is a real doctor, but he runs scamming business. And that's a shame. And I was afraid to raise any voice. And the other person said, yes, ma'am, you need to be afraid because one of the ladies, whoever was scammed by him, committed suicide or God knows what happened. So that was an indication to me that if you raise your voice, you may probably end up in the same situation.
Did any ladies or anyone send his personal pictures?
Not sure. I think they might have, because he speaks about love and romance. So I'm sure there are some ladies who actually loved him truly, honestly, sincerely, and might have sent him personal pictures.
Did he blackmail you?
He just blocked me off. He didn't have any chance to blackmail me. Knowing what I am, he probably blackmailed the other women. And I have come to know that some people have been blackmailed, saying they have their pictures and they have their house information, their address, their phone numbers. They can get into those the ladies' accounts and send those pictures to all their family members. Looks like he did threaten some women.
Chandana, when did you find out the truth about him?
I found out the truth about him in last year in December. And that's when I got up and I went to police station and filed a police complaint on him. Yeah,
Total
that's a
family
shame.
scam.
Looks like the whole family is involved in his scamming. And he
Hmm.
actually comes up with a picture of a 6-year-old girl, and the girl, he tells that he's its daughter, but that girl is actually his sister's daughter, so she's the niece. And looks like the sister is also involved in scamming. And sources told me that the sister has been to jail for what reason, God knows. She's been in jail and she's come out of jail and she makes videos of her daughter and they use those videos send to other ladies saying, oh, this is my helpless daughter, motherless child, and they gain sympathy.
Chandana, have you been able to recover from the loss or still you're struggling?
Yes, ma'am. On one of the accounts that I made, I filed the police complaint with the police and I took it to my bank and
Hmm.
I actually Had an investigation started from the bank, and I was able to get 2 transactions back. So, for all the ladies who've lost any amount through the bank transaction, through a wire transfer, they should probably go to the bank and request a refund from the bank so the money would be returned.
Okay, Chandana, what are the final words about the whole situation you have gone through?
Yes, Cindy. So my whole effort is to for all the ladies, don't be desperate for love if it comes with a price. You always can find love, support, and the people who actually see in person rather than looking for any connection online. Do not accept friend requests or message requests from any person you do not know. Do not share your cell phone numbers or WhatsApp numbers to any person you do not know. If anyone asks for money, that's it. It's a
Hmm.
scammer. Be it because they're in need of help, because they're trapped somewhere, or because they're
Hmm.
going through a surgery, whatever the issue may be, you do not know them, do not transfer any money. And I also would bring attention to all the ladies and especially all community in India that this
Hmm.
person has about 300 to 500 profiles, all starting with the name doctor. Do not believe him. It's not for him. Doctor means scammer. He's actually scammer Ahmad Salim, not Dr. Salim. And his wife is scammer crime Yara Salim. And they both together have amassed so much wealth, they will sure be caught. They have left traces, they have left evidences in every transaction. And those people who help them to make the transaction are the ones who come out with the truth once the police investigation is through.
Thank you, Chandana, for sharing this. Ahmed scamming has to end for the sake of humanity. And take care. Hope for the best. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you so much. I thank SumanTV for giving me the opportunity to raise awareness and alert all the ladies. Thank you again. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste.